On January 15, 1942, Hollywood actress and Indiana native Carole Lombard took the stage in Indianapolis to rally support for the war effort, helping to sell an astonishing $2 million worth of war bonds. Known for her wit, charm, and unshakable patriotism, Lombard's presence electrified the crowd as she urged Americans to contribute to the fight against tyranny. Tragically, this would be her final public appearance. The following day, as she returned to California, her plane crashed into a Nevada mountainside, killing all on board. At just 33 years old, Lombard's life was cut short, but her legacy endured, not only as a beloved actress but as a symbol of American resilience and dedication during World War II. In recognition of her service, she was posthumously awarded the Medal of Freedom, the first woman in history to receive the honor. On this day in 1965, civil rights leader Malcolm X was assassinated in the Audubon Ballroom in Manhattan. As he prepared to address an audience of supporters, 3 gunmen opened fire, striking him 21 times in front of his wife and children. He was rushed to the hospital on a stretcher, but the wounds were fatal. Malcolm X was pronounced dead at just 39 years old. A polarizing yet transformative figure, Malcolm X had spent years advocating for black empowerment, self-defense, and the global struggle against oppression. His evolving views in the final years of his life, particularly after his pilgrimage to Mecca, signaled a shift towards a more inclusive fight for justice. His assassination marked a tragic turning point in the civil rights movement, but his legacy continues to inspire generations in the pursuit of racial and social equality. A rare glimpse behind the grand performances, this 1937 photograph captures the quiet, atmospheric world backstage at the Paris Opera House. Away from the dazzling stage lights and lavish costumes, performers and crew members prepare in the shadows, where the true artistry of the opera takes shape. The image evokes a sense of timeless elegance, showcasing the intricate details of a world few get to witness. The interplay of light and shadow adds to the mystique, as if the walls themselves hold stories of passion, discipline, and dedication. This behind-the-scenes moment reminds us that every breathtaking performance is built on the unseen efforts of those working tirelessly in the wings. Captured by renowned photographer Victor Skrebneski, this striking 1971 portrait brings together 3 legendary figures of American cinema, Dennis Hopper, John Ford, and John Huston, against the backdrop of Palm Springs, California. The composition reflects a meeting of generations: Ford, the master of the Western, with his signature eye patch and stoic demeanor; Huston, the towering storyteller known for The Maltese Falcon and The Treasure of the Sierra Madre; and Hopper, the rebellious auteur of Easy Rider, symbolizing the countercultural shift in Hollywood. Their expressions and body language hint at an unspoken dialogue between old and new, tradition and revolution. This photograph stands as a testament to an era of transition in filmmaking, where the classic and the avant-garde converged, shaping the future of American cinema. In this charming 1995 photograph, Deborah Mitford, the Dowager Duchess of Devonshire, is seen tending to her chickens on the grounds of Chatsworth House. The image captures the essence of her down-to-earth nature. Despite being a duchess, she found great joy in the simple pleasures of country life. For those unfamiliar, Deborah was one of the 6 Mitford sisters, an aristocratic British family known for their striking beauty, sharp wit, and often controversial lives. Each sister carved a unique path, ranging from literary success to political extremism, but Deborah, the youngest, became best known for her devotion to Chatsworth. After marrying Andrew Cavendish, the 11th Duke of Devonshire, she worked tirelessly to restore and preserve the grand estate, ensuring its survival for future generations. Her love for farming and rural traditions was not merely a hobby but an integral part of her identity. Whether managing the estate or selling farm produce, she approached her role with the same grace and practicality that made her one of the most beloved Mitford sisters. This evocative 1956 photograph captures a group of children in Niigata Prefecture, Japan, clad in traditional minobashi raincoats as they make their way to a New Year's event. The minobashi, woven from straw, was a staple of rural Japanese life for centuries, offering protection against the heavy snow and rain characteristic of the region. The scene reflects a bygone era, where traditional garments were still a common sight, especially in Japan's rural areas. The children's bundled-up figures, trudging through the winter landscape, highlight both the harshness of the season and the enduring customs that shaped daily life. Against the backdrop of post-war Japan, this image stands as a quiet yet powerful testament to resilience, tradition, and the deep connection between people and their environment. This 1935 photograph captures a moment inside a home economics classroom at Chevy Chase High School in Bethesda, Maryland. A group of young women, dressed in crisp white aprons, diligently follow their instructor's guidance as they prepare food, embodying the era's emphasis on domestic skills as essential elements of a well-rounded education. During the early 20th century, home economics courses were widely promoted in American schools, particularly for young women, reinforcing traditional gender roles. However, these classes also provided practical knowledge in nutrition, meal planning, and household management, skills that extended beyond the home and into broader discussions on public health and efficiency. The structured setting, complete with orderly workstations and vintage kitchen equipment, reflects the period's instructional approach, blending discipline with hands-on learning. Today, images like this offer a glimpse into a past where education was not just about academics but also about preparing students for the societal expectations of their time. This 1969 photograph captures a defining moment in the Black Panther Party's Free Breakfast for Children program, held in Harlem, New York. The scene, young children seated at tables, receiving warm meals from volunteers, embodies the party's grassroots activism and commitment to community welfare. Founded in 1969, the Free Breakfast program was one of the Panthers' most impactful social initiatives, addressing food insecurity among Black and low-income children. Operating in cities across the U.S., the program served thousands daily, often in churches, community centers, and Panther offices. By providing nutritious meals before school, the initiative not only improved children's health and academic performance but also highlighted the systemic neglect of Black communities by the U.S. government. Despite its success, the program was met with intense opposition from the FBI, which viewed the Panthers' community-driven efforts as a political threat. Nevertheless, the Free Breakfast program left a lasting legacy, influencing future government-funded school meal initiatives and underscoring the power of direct action in the fight for social justice. This 1971 photograph captures the World Trade Center in the midst of its construction, a towering symbol of New York's ambition and architectural innovation. At this stage, the skeletal frames of the Twin Towers dominate the skyline, showcasing the immense scale of the project that would redefine Lower Manhattan. Designed by architect Minoru Yamasaki, the World Trade Center's twin skyscrapers were engineering marvels, utilizing a revolutionary, tube-frame design that allowed for greater interior space and structural efficiency. When completed in 1973, they became the tallest buildings in the world at the time, standing at an iconic 1,368 and 1,362 feet. The image is a testament to the era's bold architectural vision and the sheer determination of the workers who built these landmarks. Decades later, the tower's tragic destruction on September 11, 2001, turned them into a lasting symbol of resilience and remembrance. This evocative photograph from the 1950s captures a quiet yet intense moment on Tsvetnoy Boulevard in Moscow, where a group of men gathers around a chessboard, deeply engrossed in the game. In the post-war Soviet era, chess was more than just a pastime, it was a symbol of intellectual prowess, national pride, and strategic mastery, heavily promoted by the state as a cultural and ideological pursuit. The scene is a familiar one in Soviet public life, men in thick coats and fur hats, huddled together despite the chill, debating moves with hushed urgency. The worn wooden board, the simple pieces, and the concentrated expressions reflect the deep-rooted tradition of chess in Russian society, where grandmasters and casual players alike shared a common reverence for the game. Tsvetnoy Boulevard, historically a hub of social activity, provided the perfect backdrop for such gatherings, embodying the spirit of communal life in mid-century Moscow. The photograph not only documents a pastime but also serves as a snapshot of Soviet urban culture, where strategy and intellect were as valued in the park as they were on the world stage. This captivating photograph captures a group of children in Yogyakarta, Indonesia, eagerly watching a soccer match from the sidelines, peering over a fence or perched on any vantage point they can find. Though often misdated as 1951, the image embodies a timeless scene, youngsters improvising ways to witness their favorite sport without the constraints of tickets or barriers. The composition exudes a sense of joy, determination, and the universal love of football. The children's body language, some gripping the fence tightly, others balancing on ledges, reveals their deep engagement with the game even from afar. Their expressions, though unseen in detail, suggest excitement and anticipation, mirroring the emotions of the players on the field. Yogyakarta, known for its deep cultural heritage, has always been a city where community life thrives. This image reflects not only Indonesia's enduring passion for football but also the ingenuity and resourcefulness of youth, a reminder that, sometimes, the best seats in the house aren't inside the stadium, but just beyond its walls. This evocative photograph from 1920 offers a glimpse into the bustling activity of Alexandria's railroad station, a vital hub of transportation during Egypt's early 20th century modernization. The image captures the daily rhythm of travelers, merchants, laborers, and families, navigating the platform, either embarking on journeys or awaiting arrivals. The architecture of the station, likely influenced by European design, stands as a testament to Alexandria's cosmopolitan character, shaped by centuries of trade and cultural exchange. The presence of steam locomotives and the attire of the people reflect a world in transition, where traditional Egyptian garments coexist with Western-style suits, symbolizing the city's unique blend of East and West. More than just a transportation hub, the station was a microcosm of Alexandria itself, a city where history, commerce, and human connection converged. The scene, frozen in time, serves as a reminder of the role of railways in shaping modern Egypt, linking its cities and people in an era of profound social and economic change. This rare photograph captures Truus Oversteegen and Hannie Schaft, two young women who became formidable figures in the Dutch resistance during World War II. Hannie Schaft, famously known as the girl with the red hair, was a key operative in the fight against Nazi occupation, carrying out sabotage missions, assassinations, and intelligence gathering alongside Truus and her sister, Freddie Oversteegen. Disguised to blend in, these women worked undercover to eliminate Nazi officers and collaborators, often luring targets into traps before carrying out their missions. Their courage and tactical brilliance disrupted German operations and provided crucial support to the resistance. Tragically, Hanni was captured by the Nazis in 1945, just weeks before the war ended. She was executed on April 17, 1945, her final words defiantly declaring, "I shoot better than you." Her legacy endures as a symbol of resistance and sacrifice, while Truus and Fredi Oversteegen continue to share their story, ensuring that history never forgets their fight for freedom. In this striking image from May 1945, an American B-17 Flying Fortress soars above the ruins of Schiphol, releasing desperately needed food supplies for the starving Dutch population. This mission was part of Operation Chowhound, a humanitarian effort launched by the Allies to relieve famine-stricken civilians in the Netherlands during the final days of World War II. After years of brutal occupation and the devastating Hunger Winter of 1944–45, in which tens of thousands perished due to food shortages, the Dutch people were in dire need of aid. With careful coordination, American and British bombers, normally used for war, were repurposed to drop tons of food instead of explosives. These low-altitude missions, executed under a temporary truce with German forces, saved countless lives. Operation Chowhound, along with its British counterpart Operation Manna, remains a remarkable moment in history, one where warfare momentarily gave way to compassion, proving that even in the darkest times, humanity could still shine through. During World War II, following Japan's invasion of the Dutch East Indies, now Indonesia, in 1942, thousands of Dutch civilians, including women and children, were forced into internment camps. By 1945, as the war neared its end, conditions in these camps had deteriorated to extreme levels, with food shortages, disease, and harsh treatment becoming a daily struggle for the prisoners. The Japanese military viewed the Dutch as colonial oppressors, and those interned were subjected to strict discipline, forced labor, and malnutrition. Families were separated, with men often sent to labor camps while women and children endured overcrowded barracks, inadequate medical care, and brutal punishments for even minor infractions. Despite the hardships, resilience among the internees remained strong. Secret schools were organized for children, and small acts of defiance, such as preserving Dutch cultural traditions, helped maintain morale. When Japan surrendered in August 1945, liberation came, but many internees emerged from the camps weak, malnourished, and deeply scarred by the experience. The suffering of the Dutch internees remains a significant but often overlooked chapter of World War II, highlighting the immense human cost of war and occupation in the Pacific. In this striking 1890 photograph, an African-American corporal of the 9th Cavalry, one of the famed Buffalo Soldiers, stands in full uniform, embodying discipline and resilience. The Buffalo Soldiers, originally formed in 1866, were regiments of black troops in the U.S. Army who served primarily in the western frontier, engaging in military campaigns, constructing infrastructure, and maintaining order in newly settled territories. Despite facing intense racial discrimination both within and outside the military, these soldiers earned a reputation for their bravery and toughness in combat. The 9th Cavalry, in particular, played a key role in conflicts with Native American tribes, patrolling the U.S.-Mexico border, and later serving in the Spanish-American War. By 1890, their duties extended to peacekeeping efforts and escort missions, as the era of large-scale frontier wars was ending. However, their service was often overlooked, and recognition for their contributions only grew in later decades. This portrait, with its detailed uniform and insignia, offers a rare and powerful glimpse into the life of a Buffalo Soldier, one of thousands of African-American servicemen who shaped the military and history of the United States in the post-Civil War era. This haunting 1908 photograph captures a young girl pausing at the window of a textile factory in Lincolnton, North Carolina. Taken by famed social reformer and photographer Lewis Hine, the image is a powerful testament to the harsh realities of child labor in early 20th century America. The girl, small and frail, stands in contrast to the massive industrial machines surrounding her. Her work-worn hands and tattered clothing hint at long hours spent in grueling conditions, often 6 days a week, with little pay and no access to education. Yet, in this fleeting moment, she gazes out the window, perhaps yearning for a life beyond the mill walls. Hine's photography was instrumental in raising public awareness about child labor, ultimately contributing to labor reforms and stricter regulations in the U.S. The image remains an enduring symbol of resilience, lost childhood, and the relentless march of industry at the expense of society's most vulnerable. In a bold and ambitious morale-boosting effort during World War II, 18-year-old Hollywood starlet Marilyn Hare set out to kiss 10,000 American soldiers. Captured in this moment at a California air base, she had already made it through the first 733, an impressive start to a challenge that was as light-hearted as it was deeply symbolic. Hare's gesture was part of a broader campaign to lift the spirits of servicemen, offering a touch of glamour and affection to those preparing for the hardships of war. In an era where Hollywood and patriotism were closely intertwined, acts like these reinforced the connection between the entertainment industry and the military, reminding soldiers of the world they were fighting to protect. While her endeavor may seem whimsical by today's standards, it reflected a time when even the smallest acts of kindness played a significant role in maintaining morale on the home front and abroad. Captured in 1966, this photograph of Neil Armstrong in his space suit marks a pivotal moment in the era of space exploration. At the time, Armstrong was a NASA astronaut preparing for the challenges of spaceflight, just 3 years before making history as the first man to walk on the moon. Dressed in his pressurized suit, Armstrong embodies the precision, discipline, and courage required for space travel. This period was crucial in his career, as he was part of the Gemini and Apollo programs, honing the skills that would later define the success of Apollo 11. Looking at this image today, it serves as a reminder of the determination and innovation that propelled humanity beyond Earth's boundaries, with Armstrong standing as an icon of exploration and human achievement. This striking 1935 photograph captures a saltwater crocodile in Java, Indonesia, a region where these formidable reptiles have long thrived. As the largest living reptile species, saltwater crocodiles can grow to immense sizes, with some individuals exceeding 20 feet in length. The image serves as a testament to the coexistence of wildlife and human settlements in early 20th century Java, a time when these powerful predators were both feared and revered. With their prehistoric appearance and unmatched strength, saltwater crocodiles have remained apex predators in Southeast Asia's river systems and coastal waters for millions of years. Today, while still widespread, their populations face threats from habitat destruction and human conflict. This historic photograph offers a glimpse into a past where such creatures roamed Java's waters in greater numbers, a reminder of the delicate balance between nature and human expansion.